Friends, you have arrived. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our repeatedly, almost always on Spotify Wrapped #1 episode. It is our fifth annual Galentine's Ginger Buddha. We are so honored that you have graced us with your presence. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me back. It's always one of my favorite things to do. I have been counting down the days that this is coming up to this on my calendar. I'm so excited to see both of your faces. And I always talk back to you when I'm listening to the podcast, like I'm sitting here. So it's nice to actually be sitting here and not just talking to myself or the dog in my kitchen.
I love it.
I love this for us. And I
Yes,
have
me
to
too.
say, uh, you know, we have referenced before, like people have asked if we script these, if we do takes. I think by now people understand that, like, absolutely not. We're not even good planners. And this one and one of our future ones that we will not tease yet are like two of the only ways we have our shit together calendar-wise. It's like, oh, calendar, Galentine's Day, Ginger Buddha, we got this. The rest of the year, you guys were just, no.
Love it. If anyone listened to my childcare episode, I think it's clear that it wasn't scripted when Red went off the rails. When GB went totally off the rails that day, I still have anxiety attacks about that recording.
Oh God, that was such a
Oh,
good episode. I loved that
I mean, like the
episode.
content was fine, but I listened to it and I feel manic, which is a different energy than I'm bringing today. So I'm excited to put that trash bag down.
Okay, well,
Cheers.
here we go.
Ooh,
I
oh,
love the
teaser.
little teaser Easter egg trash bag. I will say that our backgrounds are worthy of a small mention. So Ginger Buddha, your background is gorgeous. Friends, if people are not on YouTube, just get on YouTube. Just watch us live because we're gorgeous, and especially Ginger Buddha today, and your background and your hair.
Thank
So
you.
you have is this your kitchen? It's so pretty.
This is my kitchen. Anyone who's listened for a while, I think there was probably mention of doing all the renovations on the house. My brother and I bought a house a couple years ago and renovated the whole thing. And the kitchen is one of my favorites. I'm proud to tell you I installed all of this tile.
Wow.
I'm very proud of this kitchen and the light in here. God, I would buy this house 100 times over just for the sunshine in this house. It
Also
really,
the
um,
stools. Like the
thank you, free
chartreuse
box. Are you
stuff.
kidding?
Free box? Are you serious? Oh man, the
Free
rock
No,
box,
box.
free
I
box
Free
is
mean,
box. Yeah.
undefeated. It's undefeated.
Get in your Facebook buy nothing group. Go thrifting. We don't need to buy new things. There are beautiful things that exist in this world that are gently owned. Fill your house with them. Stop buying new shit.
love that. And Karen, I love your on-brand backdrop of hearts.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Galentine's Day offerings are they're slim pickings. It's a lot of blonde ladies. No offense to blonde ladies. A lot of blonde
Oh,
ladies with pink drinks, and you know, Katie's like, oh,
Oh,
mhm.
I'm like,
There was no
yeah.
Valentine's
You
Day
you can
chalet,
hit
no
on you
Valentine's
can
Day
like
Pottery Barn chalet
no,
backdrop.
West Elm. Get on it, West
That's what it
Elm.
was, West Elm.
It's
seriously,
a
the
vibe.
West Elm
Love
backdrop with the
it.
Jessica Well. Yeah. Not for today. Well,
When I tell you I
speaking.
was howling during
Oh
Just
my
Baby Jessica,
God.
it's such a staple of my childhood. Don't go near that hole. Where are you walking? Don't go in the yard. Just
Seriously.
formative times.
Speaking
Sorry,
of
Katie, your
baby
backdrop.
Jessica,
What's going on?
yeah. So, so right now I am in Austin, Texas on a girls' trip with my mom and some friends, and we're having a great time. And we're at a very large Airbnb because there are many of us. And this Airbnb came with what we are all lovingly calling the murder cottage.
Oh
And
no.
so I am in, I mean, okay, so seriously, if you're not on YouTube, just get on YouTube because it is. I don't actually know what the history. Well, okay, so to be fair, in the front of this house, there is a plaque that this is a like a registered landmark in Texas. And so this cottage has been redone. It has marble in the bathroom, but it also has some real murder vibes. And it's like it's stone, it's there's a lot of stained glass, there's a lot. Well, anyway, I didn't sleep in this cottage. Another person did. And she, of the 4 nights that we are here, she only stayed two. She
Oh,
left
Because
because
she
she
was
was,
murdered? Oh, she left.
yeah, she left. Yes. Thankfully, she has not been murdered. But she was just like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't really the murder cottage. She lives in Houston, but at the same time, that was her excuse that she had to go back to work. I really think that she didn't want to stay in the murder cottage.
For
Frankly,
those that
I,
aren't on YouTube, I want to be clear. This is not the Ilya and Shane cottage. This is a very different cottage. This is not, you are not heated
yeah.
rivalry. Your faces did not change. You do not know what I'm talking about. Carry on.
Oh, it's okay. No,
For
it's
those that know
okay.
what I'm talking about, this is not the Shane and Ilya cottage.
I do want to talk about heated rivalry because I have not yet watched it, but literally every single person I know is obsessed with it. Karen, have you watched it?
This is what I'm going to say to you.
Okay.
This is what I'm going to say to you. If you, when you do watch it, if you decide, there are some friends of mine that literally want to direct it in, like, inject it into their veins. Shout out to Matt and
Mm.
Kurt. Like, cannot exist without, like, my timelines and everything right now are like the fall of democracy and heated rivalry. There is no in between. That is all I'm existing in right now. But for those that have not watched it, and I share with the two of you if you decide to, make sure you can watch episodes 5 and 6 at the same time.
Okay.
That's the important thing that I will offer you. Don't like let it get to bedtime and just say I have one more and add episode 5. Make sure you have time for both. That is where I will leave
Okay.
it.
That's a pro tip. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Thank
It
you.
was served. I was served me well, and I offer it to share with my people.
Excellent. I really appreciate this.
Yes.
You know what? You're getting Galentines and you're getting heated rivalry pro tips. Friends, this is
I'm
the best
nothing if
place to
not
be
full
right
of
now.
information.
Yes, you are so full of information. Speaking of, I love that you came prepared with a
Oh.
theme this year for Galentine's Day. So please, Ginger Buddha, please take it away because your concepts and your ideas and what you want to talk about today is absolutely brilliant. So we see the
Thank you.
floor.
Thank you. I'm going to give a little bit of an intro to this to sort of set up how this came to be. Starting with, and I believe you guys have talked on this episode about the idea of spoons, the idea of a lot of people. I forget, forgive me, I know, Karen, you're nodding. I forget who came up with it, but the idea of a lot of people with chronic illness or chronic pain talk about spoons. I'm not sure why it's specifically spoons, but spoons are sort of talked about as energy. And so for people who know that they don't necessarily have 100% energy to get through the day, the idea is that you talk about how your spoons are distributed throughout the day. So if you know you have like a huge work meeting that's going to take a lot of your social battery, you know that that's going to take a certain amount of spoons, so that at the end of the day you're not going to plan something social in the evening. The kind of idea of like guarding your energy and guarding yourself, guarding your time. I loved the spoons. I loved that idea, but it never quite hit exactly right for me because I realized I don't always get to choose when people take my spoons. By the nature of my work, I could
Yes.
have some, rando mom Jessica come in and blow up my inbox, and I don't really have a choice in that matter, right? Like, people take my spoons. Still love it, still love the idea. But fast forward to this past Christmas, I was navigating a conversation between two family members, and I realized in the moment I've sort of managed this connection between them a long time. They're close family members and not great at communication, if you will. So, I'll just say it. It's my dad and my brother. So as my dad is getting older, I see the relationship. They're not going to listen. Who are we
Oh
kidding?
my.
No.
Listen.
And I love them both very much, but communication is a challenge. I, early on in our family, took on a role of like a very maternal role. And so I facilitated a lot of conversations. And so over Christmas, there was this like, well, I called your brother and I left a message. And well, I called him back and he didn't answer. I don't know what's the
Oh.
problem. And there's just no, no communication. And I was starting to feel frustrated. And I just said to myself at one point, like, this is not my trash. This is not mine to deal with. Like, my dad's gonna die, some shit's gonna be unresolved. Not my problem. I resolve my shit. It's not my trash. And so Tori's trash was born. the, the idea being, it just kind of kept growing. It started with this is not my trash between my dad and my brother. And then it just sort of started to apply to other things. And this is a little, I'm going to keep referencing my two hands. So those on YouTube will understand. But for those of you that are just listening, just imagine I'm very, very much with my hands and I'm showing you my hands. So the idea behind this for me is if you are holding other people's trash, you do not have any hands for yourself. There is no hand where you can hold your own trash. You can You can soothe yourself, you can do anything with yourself. And sometimes it's like an actual work with your hands. Sometimes it's metaphorical, sometimes it's whatever it is. But this idea of trash, at trash bag, I have always used this as a very affectionate. I've always used trash bag. Karen's nodding. I refer to our president as a trash bag pretty honestly, often. Not just the presence of a trash bag, but it smells. It's leaking all over my feet. I take it outside, but it still smells and it's sticky on the kitchen floor. It's on my fucking shoes. He's a trash bag. They're all trash bags. Which brings me to say that, you know what? Living and existing in this timeline means that oftentimes one of our hands completely full of the American government.
Oof.
Like it's just occupying our hand, it's occupying our brain, it's occupying our space, it's occupying our finances. So, applying this to all of these other things, when I have started to think about conversations and transactions or work situations, friendships, relationships, like, is this my trash? Like, is this my trash? And like at work, if I get an email that someone doesn't like something that a policy or they don't want to pay a bill, okay, but that's not my trash. You signed up for my agency. You knew the prices. You knew the policies. You don't like them. Sorry to hear it. It's not my trash. That's not mine to carry. I don't need to get twisted up and emotional about how this person doesn't like my policies. They're the fucking policies. That's it. Not my trash. Um, Relationships, like conversations about anything. I mean, thinking about friendships. We talked a couple of Galentine's days ago about picking up friendships and communication. There are still some friendships that I think about often where people just up and walk, what seemingly just up and walked out of my life. And I've done everything that I can. I've tried to inventory what happened and made myself available for reconciliation or tried to say, like, is there something we can talk about? I have done everything that I can. No longer my trash. Now, if someone wants to say, hey, Tori, I've got some trash that belongs to you and wants to like hand it back and talk about it, then I will occupy and think about it. But there's nothing, I have no information to inform why I should be carrying this weight. There's no trash for me to hold here. And it goes on from there. And I have a lot more of examples and a lot more things. And I've talked about this. Anyone who's talked, I've been insufferable about this in January, even come up with a little song, affectionately sung by the Ting Tings. That's not my trash. That's not my trash. They sent an email. That's not my trash. That's not my trash. Shout out to the Ting Tings. Um, but then it comes into all of it, like, what if I want to help? What if I want to help my friend and I want to help take some of the burden? Well, I have to have at least one hand available for that. If I've
Mm.
got on the phone with Medicare dealing with insurance like I was last week, and I've got a sick dog, and I've got full email inbox, and I've got all of these things. Today's not the day I can actually help do a school pickup. I'd really like to, but my hands are actually full of trash. Like I'm full of things to do. It for me makes it less obligatory. Like it's a visual representation for me. Like sure, I could go pick up, but then I'm going to come home and there's going to be dog shit in the living room because he's got to go out every 15 minutes, or my emails are going to go undone and there's going to be something that's last minute. So like it just, for me, it just is sort of helping me decide like what is occupying my space and what is physically occupying my hands. My friend Aubrey came up with this great idea or this great thing too when I was talking about the friendship exchange of trash. And she said, you know, the idea of as we all practice asking for help, it's a really great visual representation of, can you please help me hold this for a second? Can you please help
Mm.
me hold this? It also helps us understand when someone doesn't ask us to hold it. Sometimes people are just saying,
Mm.
hey, here's my trash. Can you just bear witness to the fact that I'm holding this? No one asked me to come take it out of your hand and solve that for you. That's not my trash. It's still yours until you invite me. And this is where I get a little insufferable because I just refer to everything and everybody as trash bag. But it just for me, like it's bringing up this representation of what is mine and what isn't, to the point that I brought it up to my staff. I brought it up to my staff, and one of my new staff members, God bless her, she hadn't been with us very long. We're having a staff meeting, and I'm getting all worked up about this Jessica mom, and I'm just all like And she very sweetly said, excuse me, is that actually your trash?
Oh,
Is
bam.
that your trash to carry?
Period.
It
Period.
was not. It was not my trash. Fast forward a little bit later when I was also getting really, really worked up, and I thought, this isn't my trash. Turns out, listeners, it was her trash. It was all my trash. I was triggered. I was
Mm.
triggered and having a big reaction that was misplaced. Not, I created the trash. I picked it up. I was holding it and bitching about it, but no one asked me to pick it up. No one, like, so I just put it back down.
Yeah.
And like, it's just created this way that my quirky brain is sort of like sorting through this and it being able to apply it to like everything. I don't even know. Like it's really, I've just sort of, and it's not always trash. Sometimes you don't want to refer to your friends needing something as trash. You can refer to it as a grocery bag,
Yeah.
and like sometimes, as I was taking notes last night, when we talk about self-care, it's not necessarily taking trash out of your hand. Might take a couple of those canned goods out of that bag. Might be a little less heavy after you take a bath. It's still there, but I don't know. It really like the something about the weight of it, the weight of holding it really was a difference for me between the spoons and this, and like allowing me to really look at in a time where I'm trying to figure like focus on myself and focus on what do I need, what does my business need, what am I trying to do to get my life forward as someone who I mean, shit, I started my entire business based in picking up other people's trash. I wanted to be helpful. I wanted to be seen as the trash lady. Look how helpful I am. I'm holding all of this trash. And now, fast forward 16 years later, I still own this business. I'm not interested in this trash. I have to figure out the definition of like my role in this company that isn't just give me all of your problems, I will solve it,
Yeah.
but hey, you have this problem. I have this solution for you. Let's meet in the middle. Like it really is just giving me this for anyone who's visual. I hope you're I hope you're riding along with me here because it really just it's helped me decide what I'm holding and where it goes.
Mm. I love it.
I offer to you, what are your thoughts on my trash?
I have so many thoughts. I'm gonna jump in. Okay, Katie, thank you. So, oh my gosh, what did I? Oh, so many thoughts. Ginger Buddha, I love this. Again, you are showing us the
Excuse me.
stage that you are earning once again, earning.
Trashy Buddha.
Whew, period. So, one of the first things I wrote down was like my like version of this has not been nearly as like eloquent or as like visual or but it's like for me it was like other people's opinions are only my business if I make it my business. Other people's non like right like you have this judgment, you have this whatever what however you feel about me or what I'm doing is only my business again if I make it my business. You can keep it. And it is the same idea of like yeah, you have generated all this trash. And the other thing I wrote down was like, people will try to hand off their trash all day, every day. They know it stinks. They know nobody wants it. They know they don't want it. They don't want it in their house. Their families are mad about it. So I mean, I'm sure we can think of people in our lives who are constantly trying to hand off their trash. Not all men, but always men. So yeah, I really, that
Yep.
also resonated. And the third thing I wrote down is like this idea also of like one man's trash is another man's treasure. There's something in here about this in the sense of like, not only do we not ask for help, we don't celebrate our wins enough. We don't ask people to sit with us in celebration enough. Like, oh, I had this trash bag. I've been carrying it for a long time. I finally sat it down and opened it, and it turns out turns out it had 5 checks in it, or like whatever it is. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I just finished running another group. This is the last thing I'll say, like an accountability group. And one of the pieces of feedback I got was like, rather than just coming every week and talking out about our challenges, can we take some time to celebrate our wins? And it was like, oh, of course we can,
Yeah.
because y'all are making progress week to week. So I don't know how the trash treasure thing works in, but like I just love this so much and it's gonna be in my head the rest of the year.
I would like to jump on the trash as treasure and then I want to throw to Katie. But as you were saying that, I was thinking like someone hands me trash, we'll use family dynamics. Everybody can identify a family dynamic as a trash. Putting down that trash bag or unloading that trash bag, one might call therapy,
Oh,
one might call growth. So maybe not treasure in the sense of 5 checks, but emptying that trash bag, however painful and stinky and disgusting it is, once you unload it, it's unloaded. The smell may linger a little bit, but you've unloaded that trash bag and you now know what's in it and you've dealt with it.
period.
So, I mean, I don't know. Healing is treasure for me these days. 5 checks would be better, but I'll take a healing. I'll take healing too.
I so appreciate you, Ginger Buddha, for bringing this up because this is like I'm genuinely the same, Karen. I'm gonna think about this for the rest of the year. Okay, so many things. First off, this like legit could be a TED talk for real
For
because
real.
I think I like for real because here's the thing. So it's the visual. Like I think there's so
Yes.
many ways of talking about something like this that isn't visual. And frankly, I've done a lot of it in most of my life in therapy, but it's never hit the same of like what you said and how you were holding your hands up and like
Yes.
what I'm realizing. I mean, there's so many things I have like, oh my gosh. Okay, so is what I'm realizing is that yes, you have 2 hands, but there are, if you've been holding a trash bag, let's say family dynamics, for like your entire life, you could have grown a fourth arm, or you could be putting that trash and it could be just teetering on your scapula, or you are contorting yourself to make it on your hip and not to let it fall. Like there are so many things. It's so insidious. I think the thing
Mhm.
is like the idea of it kind of you putting it down, of like not having enough hands to take care of yourself. That is the mic drop for me. Because like I recently I'm not going to go into it, but I recently had a situation where I realized that I had been holding a bag of trash for the majority of my life.
Mm.
And it came up in a variety of therapeutic settings. And I gotta say, I'm not holding it anymore. And I am feeling a level of freedom that I have never felt. I'm not even kidding,
Oh.
Tori. This is actually like seriously on the nose for me. And like it's just wild because I feel lighter, I feel happier, but also like I think that so there's that. And then there's that's like the deep, deep, deep. But like then I think like the every fucking day. Oh my God. Okay. So I don't know if other people feel this way, but I often will walk down the street and I feel energetically what other people are experiencing, like as an empath. Don't love being an empath, but like if there is someone who is clearly having a hard time, and it is their hard time to have. Like, I'm not, like in a position, or it's just, it's like maybe they're fighting with their partner or something like that.
Mhm.
Or there's a child that's struggling and their parent is struggling with them or whatever it is. I will often pick up that trash energetically and try to carry it with me and try to send, not that I don't want to send them love, that's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, like I bring it home. I bring it
Yep.
fucking home. And then I have trash bags around my house, and I wonder why it's hard for me to relax in my home where they're like what trash belongs in my house. There's a
Yep.
lot of questions around this. Like there's
And
just
also, what trash needs to be brought home? Like, you
yes.
meet a friend for coffee to talk about her shitty partner or like a shitty situation.
Yes.
You're holding that trash with her then. But I think that the growth, and this is still something I'm working on and figuring out how to deal with this trash, is how to very gently put that trash back down.
Yes.
Like, it's not just because it's like, just because they shared it with you doesn't mean it's yours to carry. And by empaths, I think we naturally do. And I think that is part of why this has been so helpful for me. And also why I say that, like, existing in America right now is a constant bag of cans over our shoulder. Like, we may have 2 hands free, but it is this constant weight all the time of like dragging it down, making it every other bag harder to carry. Even if we switch shoulders, like it's weighing us down. Every child's face we see, makes the bag heavier and heavier and heavier. And you said something really great, Katie, about the sort of the it may be in the crook of your neck or it's like stuck on your arm. Can you carry more than one bag at a time? Yes, but it will throw you off balance.
Hmm.
Because you can't, yeah, sure, you could put 3 bags of your family's bullshit on this arm and bags of your family's bullshit on this arm, but it's going to knock you out of balance. So like there are going to be times you're just going to have to take it, or you have to exist in a world with, I put over here when I was taking some notes, grief, that can occupy sometimes both hands.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually as time passes, it's just one, but you're existing in the world with a handful. Having an infant, 2 hands full. Having a child, 1 handful. Existing as a person of color in this country.
It's just, I just wrote that down. I was like, y'all, I've had a backpack full of this
Yes,
country's trash
exactly.
on my, like,
Yes.
we're all just carrying it around. And now I feel like other people are like, oh my God, have you seen all this trash? Like, yeah, bitch, I've been carrying it my whole life. What do you mean?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yes, also
Yes.
that, like, you just figure out a way to navigate the world carrying other people, like, 400 years of trash with you.
Yep.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think an important thing to talk about too in this is just because you've decided to put a bag down, you do not need to find somebody to pick it up. You don't need to find somebody to hand it to. Just put it the fuck down. Just put it down.
Wait, okay.
Like, and I know that that was a bad
Oh,
segue from
no,
the
no.
from the 400 years of the, but I mean like it the idea of the exchange of it. We think of this as like an exchange. You've got to do something with it. You've got to find someone to hand it to or somewhere to put it. Some things you can put down. This thing we were talking about, like that's not something to be put down. That's something where when we talk about white ladies need to be helping and other folks, that's where we go in and we lift some of it, take some out of that bag, perhaps put it in our, like figure out the distribution of this, but it occupies it occupies the entire space. I mean, I don't know. But like it's
So
heavy.
where
It's
I was gonna go with it was like this idea of for some reason I feel like I saw is it Leah something Back to the Future. Somewhere on my timeline I saw the actress from Back to the Future. Or maybe she was on Whose Line Is It? Anyway, Whose Line Is It Anyway? And right, remember in Back to the Future, when he comes from the future, his car runs on trash. So is there a
Oh,
way to like metaphorically turn your trash into fuel? Like is there a way that you can be in your car from the future, dropping your trash in it and turning it into fuel and like maybe that's
Karen
the therapy.
Hawkins with the
But
mic drop.
like
That
can
is,
you convert this trash into something that's useful to you?
wow. Yeah.
that's so real. I mean, okay, so that's a perfect segue, Karen, to like the tactical
Mhm.
advice. Like,
Yes.
how do we actually, like, sometimes it's like, okay, I've been carrying this trash around. I don't want to carry this trash around. How do we
Mhm.
transfer it to fuel? How do we full on Marty McFly that shit? Or how do we like put it down when it's like shit that we still have to
Go through.
face? Like, that's the thing.
Yep.
It's like, how do we actually do this? I love this theory, and I want to know in terms of like your both of your thoughts on like how.
My thought on this is uh I don't know. Uh I'm 1 month into this. I'm recognizing the trash. I haven't quite figured out how to put it down. I will say the easiest one for me to control is identifying so far, sort of like that situation at work where it was my trash. So, like, in order for me for this to work, there is some self-reflection here.
Mm.
And like the thing about my dad and my brother, I've been doing that since I was 9 years old. That is a trash bag that I have been carrying that like has a permanent indentation in my hand as I have been carrying this heavy thing. And another thing I realized about that one specifically, if I'm holding it, they're not,
Yeah.
right? Like they don't have to figure out how to communicate because I've been doing it for them. So I
Wow.
haven't even given them a chance to figure it out because I've been holding it for them. So for me, I think it's been a lot of self-reflection and getting really just this first part of it to what is the trash, first of all? Is this trash? Where does this exist? Does it need to get just put down? Do I need to take it out? Do I share it with somebody else? Um, is this a trash bag I can put down for a little bit and then come back to it because now is just not the time? Like I thought about it in terms of work. We all just look forward to the weekend so much because on Friday at 5 o'clock, for those that work a 9 to 5, at 5 o'clock, they put all of their work trash bags down, close their laptop, and go home. They still have to pick it up Monday morning, but they don't smell that trash through the weekend. They get to just
Mm.
cut loose, be done with it. And it's just sort of a perpetual trash. I think a lot of us would agree work is trash. Uh, but so for me, I don't know necessarily the solve. I think I'm still very much in the identifying where it is. I might also say, I don't care what happens to the trash when I put it down. I don't think that'll
Mm.
apply to all of it. And there are some things that I like it won't always apply. I haven't found one yet. I feel like it's pretty rock solid, pretty airtight so far. But I think for me it's just really identifying the feelings right now and identifying how many fucking places in my life I just willingly and without permission sometimes. Like the idea of, as your friend, would you like me to listen or would you like me to help you problem solve this? If you don't ask that question and someone tells you something and you just run off on a rampage telling them how to deal with it, you just ripped that trash bag out of their hand without even knowing what was in it. So I think I'm really challenging myself as someone who did jump in and rip trash bags out of hands and gather all the trash bags I could and found my purpose through various childhood trauma bullshit, needing to be needed. I needed to be seen as a helper, as a trash bag picker upper. So figuring out what those trash bags are and slowly sort of putting them down, which also other people don't always like that you're putting the trash down or handing it back to them. And that I think for me is going to be the next, because that's a boundary, right? I got to hold the boundary. The boundary, just because you don't like my boundary, that's your trash. But holding the boundary, fuck, that's mine. That is hard, and I'm probably gonna have to like pack trash on the back of that wall to hold that boundary. I don't know. I'm going off the rails here a little bit. But to answer your question, Katie, I think in practicality for me, it is still identifying where this exists, where this trash exists, and what I can put down, what I can recycle, what I can put away, what actually isn't trash. I don't know. I haven't really, I'm still holding trash that I haven't discovered yet, I think, is where I'm going with that.
Oh, I love all of that. Oh, I mean, I hate it, but I love it. Yeah, I mean the thing about the boundary, right, is this realization, and I'm sure we've all seen this in our timelines at some point, this idea that there are people in your life who prefer you unhealed, that who only really want to be in a relationship with unhealed you. And the second
Mhm.
that you start to not be that person, now you're a problem for them. And yeah, I think there's a lot of trash in that like exchange somewhere of like, wait, why is me being healthy like an issue for you? And then I have this joke in my head like about like the Venn diagram of like life coaches and cult leaders. Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Of like, you're healing and people don't want you to be healed. And so you don't need those people in your life. And it's like, okay, cult leader, you don't need those people. You just need us, right? So anyway.
yep,
Mm.
yep.
I feel like my advice on this echoes stories about it's the feeling like realizing that you're triggered, I think is a huge
Mhm.
win in life. I mean, who among us is able to recognize in the moment that the button has been pushed,
Yep.
Ooh.
right? I mean, I feel like realizing it as it's happening is the key to unlock a ton of shit.
Yep.
So yeah, I really that really resonates with me. Like, oh, I'm upset. I mean, I would love it if my first question was, is this my trash?
Yeah. And I'll tell
Right?
you, with that work example, when my staff said, like, is this your trash? And it wasn't. And then later that day, I realized my reaction was, I will tell you, I'm not fixed, but each time I get an email back from someone sharing their fucking opinion about something that they weren't asked for, I'm aware a little bit more aware. I can't say that I haven't been like sent myself into a downward spiral or being, why are these people so ungrateful? It's made me recognize a little more easily because I'm not also saying like I was triggered. Somehow for me, framing it as the trash makes it this
Right.
external thing. And I can be like, ooh, this might be a little bit trash baggy. Let me look for the trash bag
Oh.
before I flip my shit out. So
Ooh.
like it it's like a sort of like a pattern thing. And please, I can't recognize all of my triggers. It happens all the time, depending on where the moon is, depending on where my cycle is, depending on literally what I've eaten that day. Like it does, I cannot promise. But being aware of where trash like surprisingly sort of sits has helped me be a little more aware of it and not just like diving into the trash pile and then wondering why I smell like garbage.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
This analogy is so good.
I mean, that's so
I'm telling you, I've been
good.
insufferable from January. That's not my trash.
This is the best thing ever, Tori.
Oh,
Honestly,
so
I want
good.
to talk about this for another 3 hours. I know we're almost at time.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, friends, please hit us up in the comments because this is like deeply profound. I actually, Karen, if you're open to it, I want another conversation about this trash in like 6 months. Ginger
Love
Buddha,
it.
would you be willing to come back and like because you're
Yes.
you're 30 days in to this like
Yes.
incredible epiphany, it would be great to hear how you're doing with it because it's like this is I think a universal theme in people's lives. Like this is so powerful and yeah, I mean, I also want to see how I and Karen, how you are doing with the trash analogy in 6 months. So if you're open to it, that'd be awesome.
I think yes, I would love to come back. I think one thing I would say to people if they, take this message and try and run with it and apply, it did feel weird to me at the beginning to think about my friend grieving a parent as a trash bag for me to hold. Like that felt shitty. That felt shitty of me to frame it that way. So there are some times that I will say that's a really heavy grocery bag. Like it's a head, as someone who's vegetarian and trying to eat more beans, I'm literally carrying bags and bags and cans and cans. So thinking about it, it doesn't need to be trash for you. I think some things can be stinky trash bags, some things can be heavy grocery bags, but thinking about it in terms of weight that you're holding and how much arm space you have for your own things. If you're carrying all of this stuff and then have to come home and be a parent, or you're carrying all of this stuff and you have to come home and be a partner, or deal with an ailing something, like what are the real things going on in your life that you have to deal with? You cannot put them down. You must leave space for those things. Kids, partner, family, life, joy. Joy can be a bag too. You have to leave space to occupy your hand with some joy.
Mm.
And I will say that that is, I think, the biggest thing I have discovered so far that putting this trash down has left a lot more space for joy, which is
Mhm.
the goal for me of 2026 is to cultivate more joy. And so, like, putting down trash and letting that shit go, I wish for everybody listening that you can like put some space in your hands to find some other fun things to hold. Good smelling, fun, friendship, joy-filled things.
It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. This
Thanks
has
for
been
having me back,
such
guys. I love you.
wow.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, so much love in this room. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for listening. Happy Galentine's Day. We'll see you next week.